Polynomial equations. In this video, let's take a closer look at how to solve polynomial equations. Here's an example that we will work with. Find the factors of the equation x to the exponent 3 minus x to the exponent 2 minus 2x is equal to 0. Here is the solution. Step number 1, factor out the common factor of x. So we will get x times x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now we will factor the trinomial. X squared minus x minus 2 can be broken down into the factors x minus 2, x plus 1 is equal to 0. So that gives us factors x equal to 0, x minus 2 equal to 0, and x plus 1 equal to 0. X is 0, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to negative 1. In example 2, 3x cubed plus x squared minus 12x minus 4 is equal to 0. We are going to use factor by grouping. We group the first two terms together to get 3x cubed plus x squared, and we group the last two together to get plus negative 12x minus 4 is equal to 0. We will then factor out the common term or terms from inside each set of brackets. X squared times 3x plus 1 minus 4 times 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we'll group common factors, 3x plus 1, and collect what's left, x squared minus 4. Of course, it's equal to 0. Factor the first using difference of squares. So x squared minus 4 is equal to x minus 2, x plus 2. And then we have, of course, 3x plus 1. Factor each term. So x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is 2. X plus 2 is equal to 0, so x is minus 2. And 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. 3x equal negative 1, so x is equal to negative 1 over 3. Solve 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 11x minus 6 equal to 0 using the factor theorem. This is example 3. What do the values of x in part A represent of the related polynomial equation? Verify your answer with graphing technology. So let's start. Use the rational zero theorem to determine the values that we should be tested. And let's review what that is. Let B represent the factors of the constant term negative 6 found at the end of the expression or the equation. And that would give us the factors plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and plus or minus 6. Let A represent the factors of the leading coefficient 2, which are plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. This gives us a whole set of possible values of B over A combinations that we can then use to determine the appropriate factor. We would get plus or minus 1 over 1, plus or minus 1 over 2, plus or minus 2 over 1, plus or minus 2 over 2, plus or minus 3 over 1, plus or minus 3 over 2, plus or minus 6 over 1, plus or minus 6 over 2. Now, we will test the values that we've just determined in step 3 for B over A to find X, to find the zeros. Now, continuing on, we're going to try the first value, 1, into the equation that we were given. We will get 2 times 1 cubed plus 3 times 1 squared minus 11x minus 6 plus 3 minus 11 minus 6, which doesn't equal 0. We will try 2. Substitute it in for x, and we will get 16 plus 12 minus 22 minus 6. Oh, it does equal to 0. So we know then that x equal to 2 is a factor. This means that we can use the value x minus 2. Use long division to find the new quotient so we can continue the steps. Now that we know the first term, we can set up long division. So we will take 2x cubed plus 3x minus 11x minus 6, divide by negative 2, and when we work it through, we find the new quotient is 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. Pause for a moment, try it for yourself to make sure I am correct. Take the result, 2x squared plus 7x plus 3, and factor. Find two numbers that add to get. Take the first value, 2, times the last value, 3, multiply to get 6, but add to get the middle number, 7. Well, let's check. We know that 6 plus 1 is 7, and 6 times 1 is 6. So we've got our two values. We're now going to break up the middle term, 7x, into these two values. 2x squared plus 1x plus 6x plus 3. And now what do? We factor again. So we'll get x times 2x plus 1 plus 3, 2x plus 1. Where do we go? We have the two factors, x plus 3, so we know that x is negative 3, and 2x plus 1, so we know that x is negative 1/2. Now we will verify using technology. We will use GeoGebra, but you can use your graphing software of choice. We're going to enter into the equation that we're given, 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 11x minus 6. We're going to adjust our settings, and we will see the result. And notice that the graph intersects the x values that match what we have algebraically determined them to be. Now on to your assignment.